You know all that mid BT17 support where they try to make Shinegreymon the main star instead of Marcus the boss Damon? Well, throw all that garbage out the window because the BT21 support is going back to its roots as a red-yellow deck designed to play Marcus out and punch everything in sight. In case you're new to the game, the Shinegreymon deck has always been about having your Digimon line support Marcus, who's doing all the swinging and all the damage, with cards like BT12 Shinegreymon and BT13 Shinegreymon Burst Mode. But after that, the deck kinda drifted, unsure of how to move forward. The support it did get in BT17 was confusing, as it tried to make Shinegreymon your boss monster as opposed to Marcus. Pfft, imagine a Digimon as your boss monster, as if. The main problems the deck suffered from were mainly due to its lack of protection of any kind for your Digimon. Yes, there was BT17 Shinegreymon, but outside of that, your Digimon were kinda wide open. As I've already spoiled, the new support line brings Marcus back to the forefront, but will it be enough to make this deck a top meta contender? Well, let's find out. And up first, we have our yellow Koromon, which has an inheritable of your turn once per turn. When any of your yellow or red tamers suspend, draw a card. Now this Koromon is designed to be support for both the new hero deck and Shinegreymon. And I'll never say no to more draw power, but the DP- egg is still really good. If you want more draw power, but it's dependent on your tamer suspension, so i.e. you swing with your Marcus, suspend it, and draw a card that way. But otherwise, you got plenty of good options with BT14 Koromon or BT12 Koromon for the DP-. So, dealer's choice really, a sauce nonetheless. Where are we dropping, boys? That's what our new level 3 yellow and red Agumon is saying. This digivolves from a level 2 yellow or red Digimon for a cost of 1, or a Koromon or level 2 hero trait Digimon for a cost of 0. It's got the your turn effect while your opponent has a level 6 or higher Digimon, or you have 3 or more hero trait tamers with different names. This Digimon may warp into a Shinegreymon from the hand for a Digivolution cost of 4, ignoring the Digivolution requirements, with the inheritable of this Digimon gains plus 2k DP on your turn. This Agumon acts as support for both the hero deck and also Shinegreymon, but its Shinegreymon uses are a bit more limited, as you're only getting the warp if your opponent has a level 6 or higher on the field. Otherwise, you're not realistically running 3 different hero tamers out. You're only having Marcus, let's be real. It is a shame that it doesn't say 3 different colored tamers, sort of like how the new adventure cards work with their effects is based on, number of tamer colors. Just kind of see that new black Agumon for how that one warps. And you're probably thinking, wait a minute, all my Marcuses are either yellow or red. How would I get a third color? That wouldn't work.
Another there is.
Except unfortunately the deck doesn't work on different colors, so Rhythm, you're staying useless. The real secret sauce for this card is to use it with BT12 Marcus to warp into level 6 for free, assuming your opponent has level 6 out, as it would meet the requirements that way, and Marcus would again allow you to cheat out into it. And even if you don't have Marcus, you could always just use a training to reduce it for a cost of 2 instead. There's also the inheritable, which is plus 2000, but I think that's only really useful for Shinegreymon in my opinion. The card is really in the eye of the beholders. I think at most running this as a 1 or a 2 of in the Shinegreymon deck, just kind of warp quickly into your Shinegreymon. But personally, I'm gonna have to say this card is lost. Up next is our retrain of Geogreymon, which plays out a Marcus if you have 1 or fewer tame. Wait a minute, that's not the effect. This Geogreymon's a little bit different. We have our new level 4 Geogreymon, which is yellow and red, which digivolves for a level 3 Digimon that's yellow or red for a cost of 3, or a level 3 Agumon in name with a dinosaur trait for a cost of 2. And it has an all turns effect of all turns once per turn. If any of your Marcuses are played, this Digimon may digivolve into a yellow Digimon card with Shinegreymon in its name from the hand without paying the cost. The inheritable of this Digimon gets plus 2k on your turn. This has some crazy combo potential, and it's almost better than a free tamer play, depending on how you play this out. Let's just say you're at 3 memory and you have this card out, then you hard play your Marcus for a cost of 4, which will then trigger this Geogreymon to evolve into a Shinegreymon or Shinegreymon X for free, which will then play out another Marcus potentially, gain you a memory, or you can go on the offensive with the next card. In most cases, you'll gain the memory back and keep turn, which is nice. Or you can always just run Awakening of the Sun and hard play your Marcus for a cost of 3 instead. The Inherit is the worst part of this card by far, as I think your other Geogreymon have better effects with DP- or drawing a card when your tamers suspend, which I think are much more useful in much wider scenarios. The plus 2000 is only really good for the new Shinegreymon in my opinion, and you'll see why in a second. I think you're on this either a 2 or a 4 depending on your build. Personally, I'm running this as more of a 4 up, and I think this really helps turbo the deck out and get things going a lot faster. Either way, this card is 100% sauce. And now the card I've been alluding to this entire video, our new level 5 yellow and red Shinegreymon, which digivolves for a cost of 4 from a yellow or red level 4 Digimon, or a Geogreymon for a cost of 3. It's got an on play when digivolving effect. For the turn, one of your Marcus is treated as a 3k Digimon that can't evolve, but it also gains Russian Alliance. Then, when your Digimon may attack. Within all turns once per turn, when any of your red or yellow tamers will be deleted, you may place one Marcus Damon from your trash to top your security, with the inheritable to do the exact same thing. Man, the Rise Greymons never fail to impress. I don't think there's ever been a bad one.
Father, does that mean you love me now?
No, back to the basement. You stay there and you don't come out.
Okay.
Every single good Rise Greymon has something to improve the deck in some way. As I already mentioned, BT12 gained you memory to keep turn, both BT4 and BT13 could play out Marcuses, and BT17 was there if you wanted to swing with your Rise Greymon for big DP. But oh lordy, this one is so good. Let's just say you evolved into your BT12 Geo Greymon, which played out a Marcus, and then you did evolve into this. You can then make that Marcus you just played out gain Russian Alliance. And if you alliance with this Rise Greymon, that's 10k with 2 checks. And if you're running all those DP buffs, that's additional 4k on top of that. Not to mention, you also get the effect of whatever Marcus gets suspended, which is either gain a memory, or actually, how about I just show you instead? Here's another scenario. Let's say you have that new Geo Greymon, and you hard play BT12 Marcus, which triggers the Geo Greymon to develop into this Rise Greymon for free. That Rise Greymon then makes your BT12 Marcus able to gain Russian Alliance. It then swings, digivolving your Rise Greymon into BT12 Shinegreymon, and then, just like that, your Marcus is now swinging for 3 checks, and that's all for 4 memory. Now that's a lot of damage. Depending on what build you're thinking of, this card is really cool, and I think really sauce. Going forward, this might even be the main Rise Greymon for the deck. The last Digimon we're going to be looking at is our level 6 Yellow and Red Shinegreymon, which digivolves from a level 5 Yellow-Red Digimon for a cost of 4, or a level 5 with Rise Greymon in its name, or Hero in its traits for a cost of 3. It has Raid, and a when digivolving when attacking effect of once per turn, you may delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 9k DP or less. It also has a when attacking effect of once per turn. By suspending one of your red or yellow tamers, this Digimon gains security attack +1 and +3k for the turn. This Shinegreymon is something alright, and I'll be honest, I don't know how I feel about it, as it takes a happy medium space in the deck. It supports both the weird yellow line, which I think is almost entirely bad, except for a few safe cards, and it's not too bad in a Marcus focused Shine deck either. The ideal combo with this is to attack and suspend your new Marcus to give this a bunch of DP, piercing, and activate all your DP minus inheritables, so that you can get your target below the 9k threshold and get the pop off of that. Alternatively, if you suspend your BT12 Marcus off of this, you're getting a free Evo into burst mode, or you could just do it into ruin mode, and then you're swinging ruin mode for 2 checks at 18k, and then end of attack doing the DP minus, which is minus 10k to the board. I don't like that. That sounds terrifying. I don't like that at all. I will say this is not your best Shinegreymon by a mile. That still goes to BT12. But second best? Yeah, no, I think BT17 is actually better, because it gives some sort of protection for the deck. It's not good protection, but it's protection nonetheless. But this is third best, so it's still on the podium. Purely for the utility and the scariness of getting that ruin mode out, I'm gonna have to have the card as sauce. And now on to our tamers, it's shocker, Marcus Damon, which is a 4-cost yellow and red tamer with a start of your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory with an on-play effect of on-play, one of your Marcus may suspend. It has an all turns effect once per turn. When this tamer suspends, one of your Digimon gains piercing and +3k for the turn, then one of your opponent's Digimon gets -3k for the turn, with a security effect of play this card without paying the cost. There are so many good Marcus for this deck. You have the obvious great one of BT12, lets you digivolve for free. You have one lets you gain memory and do some light DP minus, and one lets you make your Marcus into a blocker. And now you have this one. Father, what about me? You know, that's on me. I completely forgot about BT4 Marcus. You're also bad. Go in the basement with your brother.
Welcome to the club.
I think this Marcus is great for both the fake all-yellow version of the deck and the classic Marcus version. If you swing with this as a Digimon, you can always give itself the +3k, and if you're doing the Alliance off of the Rise Greymon, this is even better to swing with, as again, piercing +3k and -3k to your opponent, you're going to swing with just a bunch of DP. And if you're using this off of, say, Burst Mode Aces effect to suspend Tamers, so you have Security Attack Plus, then you get piercing and +DP and -DP, so that's good too. Not to mention, if this is your second Marcus you're playing out, and it comes out, it suspends a different Marcus, and you get those effects too. So again, let's say you have BT12 out, you play this out, it suspends BT12, and then it digivolves your Digimon for free. I believe this card is sauce. I think this replaces your BT17 Marcus like hard stop, and it could even replace a copy of BT13 depending on what your build is. The last card we're going to be talking about is our very funny option, the yellow and red, the champion, ultimate fighter. which costs 4 and has a main effect of for the turn, one of your Marcus is treated as a 12k DP Digimon that can Digivolve and gains Rush. Then that Digimon may attack your opponent's Digimon. Your opponent's unsuspended Digimon may also be attacked with this effect. With a security effect, you may play one Marcus Damon from your hand or trash without paying the cost, then add this card to your hand. For a cost of 4, you're making Marcus swing with what was once only BT13 burst mode levels of DP, and it has Rush and can basically beat the crap out of any Digimon on the field. If you do this with both BT13 and BT17, you're gaining back memory, so worst case, you're swinging, gaining back memory, and assuming you start with 3 memory, you're keeping turn. Even with the new Marcus as well, that's with piercing, and no memory gain there, but DP minus and some other stuff there, so there's benefits to that. The security effect is also nice, allowing you to apply to Marcus from your hand or trash, so can't complain there either. For a common card, this thing is just crazy funny. But I do think Awakening of the Sun is a better option. Considering how tight deck space is for this deck, I just don't think it's worth running, as you already have to have a Marcus out on the field for it to first swing. If this say costs 6 and let you play a Marcus for free and then did everything else, then yeah, for sure I think it's worth running there. But that's just wishful thinking, and that's not what the card does. As a meme card, this card is major sauce, but outside of that, it's lost. Is Marcus back to tear up the meta like it's BT13 all over again? The answer is still no. The deck suffers from the same issues it did in BT17 and in a post-BT14 Ace world, where the deck has no forms of real protection, outside of BT17 Shinegreymon and Awakening the Sun's delay effect, kind of. And because of that, you're often stuck going crazy in the early game with the offense, which this deck absolutely kills it with. Again, 3 checks by turn 2, absolutely nutty now. But after that, if your opponent has time to set up, and they get their stack out and ready, you're kind of out of luck. I will say there have been some improvements, as Alliance off the new Rise Greymon does help beat over wall decks now, as you're able to get over their DP thresholds, as again with everything in this entire deck, you'll be up to like 17 or 18k DP, so Magnemon X is no longer an issue, but it will still die if you get hit with the counter timing. What I think this deck really needs access to is the new red keyword Progress, as that would help a lot. Just think about it, you swing it through Marcus, it has Progress, it's unable to be affected by your opponent's effects, and then you get the swings off that way. The deck still does what it's always done, which is go hard and fast and swing for just a lot of DP and a lot of checks in just a short period of time, but it's just not what it needs to do in order to stay at the top of the game. With that being said though, I think the deck is in the best place it's ever been, and if you're wondering which version of the deck to play, either the Marcus focused or the Shine focused yellow version, I think that the Marcus version is a hand above the best version of the deck to play, but the yellow one now has more support and is actually now a viable version, where you just use Shinegreymon as your main star and then have Marcus support it. But I want to show off my deck list for Shinegreymon, focusing on Marcus being the attacker. This is the deck list right here. While I do think the deck list needs a bit of refining, I think this is a good jumping off point. I'm focusing on being hyper aggressive and swinging out as fast as possible with as many Marcuses as possible, which is what most of the deck is trying to do, either play out Marcuses or make the Marcuses swing. I think the new Greymon does a great job at helping you get the board presence out and swinging for 3 checks early game if you have the new Rise out. Everything else is pretty standard, I think, again just focusing on getting all those checks out quick and fast and just alliancing and doing a whole bunch of damage that way. As for the top end, you're really only going to be running BT12 Shinegreymon because again the extra security check and DP minus is what the main star of the show is to make Marcus shine. I do like having the one of for BT17 just for some more Marcus to be played out, because again, if you happen to have your BT12 in the back but you haven't been able to push it out or suspend it, you can always Digivolve into your BT17, it plays out the new Marcus, BT21 one, it comes out, it suspends BT12, and then Digivolve into a level 7. And speaking of level 7s, here's where I think the most flexibility comes in handy, as there are 3 level 7 Shinegreymon that are all fantastic for the deck. Ruin mode for board control, burst mode for that one final check, and burst mode ace for just some more aggression. Personally, I like the one more check of BT13 burst mode, but again, just dealer's choice really. Whatever works for you in the setting that you're in, adjust accordingly. As for the all yellow Shine variant, this one more focuses on getting into your Shinegreymon as fast as possible and doing damage with either DP minuses with the BT21 or by using the new or burst mode to suspend Marcuses to get more DP and security attacks that way. Aside from that, the deck's pretty standard, you're just playing it as a normal Digimon deck for the most part. I think that Ukamon plays a bigger part in this deck, just getting things turboed out a bit faster. The deck either way is still very aggressive and goes for just a lot of checks in a very short amount of time, but despite all that, it still falls from the same issues that I've talked about all videos. And for that reason, I'm going to have to give the new BT21 Marcus support 3.5 punches to a giant chicken out of 5. When you're fighting a giant pink bird, sometimes you need more than your fists, and that's how it feels like when you're playing this deck in the meta currently. Thank you for watching the episode of Sauce or Loss. This will start off our BT21 coverage, and we're hopefully going to get a bunch more videos out. Let us know in the comments if there's anything particularly you'd like to see. I've been Pro Ninja, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.